to these guys right here, threaten DDK and winning it into Dust 2.
Alright, so we already spoke about Dust 2. For me, it's the battle of Rickeh and SnypeR versus allu and Forest. But will the AWPs even arrive? Will there even be ever any economy for the Australians to even have? What do you think?
Yeah, it really depends on how NiP plays. As I said earlier, it's really decisive if NiP decides to go for those stupid low economy buys, because they're being like way too confident, like we won the first map 16-5, it's Dust 2, we're just gonna crush them, let's just buy every round. Like if they just play as they should, this should be no problem whatsoever for NiP.
Yeah, it's looking already to be pretty interesting because allu's pushed long, so he's taken that away from Immunity. Immediate reaction from them as well.
And Immunity actually won the pistol round, which we apparently missed, so sorry about that, but it's second round here, so Immunity won the pistol round.
Nice move from USTILO, but he doesn't somehow pick up any kills, and it's already looking quite good here for NiP. They've taken down everyone but James, and he is going to try to do what he can, but to be fair, Friberg is pretty low for us as well, but he's playing a really smart game here, only showing his head, and he is going to take down James. So they got, this is the worst case scenario. They've been reset straight away. That's worse than losing the pistol.
Yeah, exactly. And in this game, winning the pistol, of course, is important, but you have to win the second round as well for it to like really matter. And Immunity failing to do so, doing the force buy. Maybe we will see the force buy versus force buy 7 rounds in a row now. Though I think CT Dust 2 is probably the hardest CT have to force buy on.
Okay, so they've actually stacked 2 players towards middle here, have Immunity. They've got 1 man in B as well, but they're playing pretty defensively. They've got the scouts working.
And NiP has long, and they have smoke. This is no way Immunity can win this. They're just gonna smoke, plant the bomb towards long, and yeah, there's nothing Immunity can do.
They can save though. That's pretty much all they can do. Just save the weapons and try to bring them into the next round. So they're in a very sneaky position actually. Doesn't kill Forest. Another frag missed by him, and it's going to be quite difficult for Immunity in the following round. I mean, NiP, do you reckon they're just going to stick to these SMGs in the following round? I guess if they get these kills, then yeah.
They should really try to save the scouts, but NiP, knowing they have the scouts, is trying to push towards them now. Awkward positions here. Imagine go down, and oh, they're actually gonna manage to save them. And NiP doing like this is a meta thing as well, which Immunity doesn't know. Like on the anti-ecos or the rounds where you know the CTs can't afford an AWP, you will always try to send the guy with the best spawn towards long just to take a peek, because there is no risk involved. And if you see nobody crossing to the pit on long, you know that there's nobody there. So you're basically forcing the CT showing themselves on long, and they could just walk up long for people, no problem.
And it's like they might be able to get themselves all the way up long again. They've got quite a few players there. The cat push is coming in from Immunity. They've got 2 guys up middle as well. So, 1 guy, sorry, up middle. Very far forward, USTILO. He's going to get caught by Forest, maybe. Actually, Forest with the knife out switches to the gun just in time and gets the kill. But he's quite low, and there's a second player who is lurking towards that position. It's Imagine, but Friberg is there to help out. And NiP moving together as a unit, making sure they get all the trades. And so far, it is looking fantastic. They've got everyone alive at the end of the round. 3-1 now the score, as Immunity are definitely going to be struggling on the money. AWP comes into play for Rickeh, and AWP in the hands of allu as well.
Yeah, so let's see what Rickeh will be able to do here. We actually see SnypeR without... Oh, there we go. I didn't think he was going to buy an armor. And let's see what kind of setup Immunity will do. Probably going to go aggressive long.
So still is going to get left in the pit for Immunity, and they have put 2 players towards middle at the moment. Well, kind of a crossfire going on. Rickeh can now move towards B if he wants. But so far, not much really given away by NiP. They're playing a slower round here. We're at 1 minute 20, and they've started to take over Catwalk with just 1 player. So very slow play here from NiP. But they have all the map control they need to now make some kind of a decision. But they don't really have the info of exactly how Immunity are set up.
Yeah, and very few people on B, like Rickeh playing mid with AWP late in the round. You usually see the AWPer rotating back to car in the later stages of the round. So this is a really interesting setup. If NiP go for the B split, it's an auto win basically for them. So this is really risky for Immunity to do this. Yeah, and they're gonna go A actually, so wouldn't be surprised if Immunity managed to win this round.
If USTILO can get both kills on long, they have a really decent chance to hold this, but he's really got to come out with a play. It's 1-on-2. They are looking for him. They know that a guy has to be somewhere here. He's going to get the first frag. Here we go. Oh, the jump, though. That's going to be the end of him. Get Right will actually now provide that flanking presence up long as this push comes into short. Immunity holding on fairly well at the moment. Just allu left over the AWP, but he's going to take off the head of Rickeh as he searches for SnypeR. But James has his back, and it's going to be the round for Immunity. So they managed to defend against the A split in the end. So good stuff from them. And
once again, super risky play from Immunity, having the AWPer in CT spawn. Like, that position makes no sense, because the terrorists, like, if they go up mid, they will always smoke CT spawn. But them having 4 people towards A totally worked out there. But yeah, let's see if they continue with this weird setup.
They might be pushing long house at the moment. It's indeed, and imagine it's going to walk straight into Friberg. I wonder exactly what the idea was behind that, but they got 2 players here. Quick reinforcements. USTILO getting the spray down as they are completely blinded. That's going to stop the presence of NiP into the long area, and NiP reacting quickly here. They've sent allu up to look for a pick onto the A bomb site. They spotted Rickeh. He is up, stuck on the bomb site behind the crates. He's got to be able to take down one player here. There it is. Looks for the shot. No connection, and he's down to 21. He's been naded so low. Quite surprised that he's actually still alive, but Immunity, they have so many bodies on this defense. Forest taking down SnypeR. Rickeh, though, gets the response. allu and Xizt remain. Xizt trying to create a new opportunity here for his team. If he can get a pick towards B, that could open up the round for NiP.
And it looks like they're rotating back now, so it's going to be all on the B player, James.
So here comes Xizt. Now he really needs to get the damage done. allu is really low on health. Here he goes, finds James. Had too many angles to cover, it would seem, as now they're going to get the bomb down. 2-on-2 retake. And allu's got that AWP, jumps across, goes for the plant, and we have Xizt setting up towards Dark. So very standard stuff here from NiP. Now can allu get into position before he gets caught? He's just going to be playing the big box there on the site. Or on the plateau, rather. Now they're jumping in. allu with the first shot. Takes down USTILO. Spots the pixel of the remaining player, Rickeh. And he's going to try to back away the AWP. There is not much he can do. 21 health. He's going to get out of there with the AWP. But Immunity going to get reset again after 2 heavily invested rounds.
Yeah, and once again, Immunity playing so risky. I mean, Xizt just walked out in the middle. I mean, sure, Immunity only had 3 people left, but you could easily just have one guy on A just standing in an angle where you can just scout middle. You can just see if they cross towards B, because all the guy on B needs is the information. Okay, they have crossed, they can come from middle, but Xizt just walking behind him and getting a free kill.
And losing the money control is such a big deal here, as we're going to see just the off save from Rickeh and the rest of his team complete eco, just a couple PT50s, and that's it. So NiP, if they get some clean rounds going for themselves, they might even be confident to start testing how the double AWP would play. But then again, if they feel like the faster pace works, they can easily just stick with the AKs. It really is definitely how they interpret what's the most efficient way to play the situation. And Friberg's going to open up middle with the AK, and they are sticking together, so playing it by the book, anti-eco.
Yeah, and this should be wrong for NiP. Maybe they will lose 1 or 2 players now. And let's see if NiP will plant right away, or they will just wait with the plant so they can try to find out where the AWP is before they plant it, because of course you will add or make it 35 seconds left of the round as soon as you plant.
That's really awesome as well. They're doing exactly that. They're so far pushed forwards before the bomb has been planted, giving them all that time to scout out the AWP player. And look at this, they're just swarming the map here. It's full on hunt mode for Rickeh, and he's over at T-spawn, as we can see. Now, is he going to be able to get any damage done here? I mean, if he can take down like 3 or 4 players, I mean, can happen when they're charging towards you, but he doesn't get even 1. So, Immunity now, another eco, and that should allow NiP to go 6-2. And now they've got the double up in play, Forest and allu.
Yeah, this is really, really rough for our Immunity. I mean, I think they would just be better off if they just went for a standard setup as CT instead of taking this like big risks, like every single weapon round. And like that, what is he doing? He's just running out mid completely alone. There's nobody there to cover him. Like, you can at least try to do a stack on the eco round.
Some kind of team play setup.
Yeah, exactly.
Give you the advantage to win a fight. But, well, they are slowly going to go down one by one. Of course, the round will be a little bit slower for NiP, having those 2 AWPs in play, especially considering they're against pistols. So you have to take extra care, but they're making the move that makes the most sense. Just getting up long, less angles to worry about. You can use the AWP on those really long ranges very easily. So NiP with a standard play, with a standard finish in this round. Get right is just going to be able to Rickeh. There goes Emagine as well. And the bomb will be planted. So not much the Immunity can do here. Now, what would you like to see come out from Immunity in their buy round? Because they know now they're up against double AWP. How should they respond?
I would go for maybe the Opera can take a peek in middle in the beginning, but then as soon as they smoke the mid door, so he feels like he can't get anything more done, he should just rotate back to car, then play 2 defensive in the B site and just go for the retake on A if they push short, and just try to have 2 people on long. You don't want to give up long for NiP, because NiP will take long, and it will take long later in the round as well. We saw one of the previous rounds where they went out when there was 40 seconds left, 2 people. Where we saw he did that, the awkward jump towards the pit, and yeah, leaving 2 people at long late in the round, I think, will be the key.
What do you think one of the harder things to deal with playing against NiP is?
Well, one of the hardest things is you can play it right, but NiP is so good in this 3v3, 3v4, and they can play with a disadvantage, only have 3 people left, and they always make good decisions late round, and I think that's probably one of the hardest things about playing versus NiP, because you can get on 1 or 2 entry frags and still lose the round.
And Immunity, they went for a very forward presence at the start of the round. They got these 2 players on catwalk. They were peeking middle. They had the flash over the top. And NiP, they've moved into B. They know it's up for grabs. They know it's for free. And they're taking it as such. And Ali's just going to pick up the bomb here. But the trade's actually not going too horrendously for Immunity. They did actually manage to find with their mid-aggression some damage. But the problem is that they're still disadvantaged. 3 on 3 with the smokes down. They have to go for a retake. They just invested everything as well. So NiP looking good at the moment to close out this round. Unless an Immunity, with the limited grenades they have, they can work their way in, but Xizt is going to eliminate the threat into Dark. Now that's really crucial here, because if they can kill the time in the front of the site, then Immunity have to then play that awkward Dark situation. That's not even going to be a factor here. They're going to go for the save. Yeah,
they really need to save the weapons right now, and they shouldn't even buy next round, even if they can buy 5 M4s, because I think they really need those ops. And I really would like them to play a bit more defensively, put that op onto car, and what you're doing then is basically forcing NiP to have either just walk out short and just get killed by the op, or have a set execution round for a B split or an A split, which I would say is the weakest part about NiP. They don't have those sick smoke executions maybe like other teams.
Now this could be an edge if James could get a frag with the AWP early into the round, but nothing's going to happen. They got that 3-man standard push towards long at the start here on the CT side, have Immunity, and they've left USTILO over there once again. I believe it is USTILO. Or is it actually Rickeh? Or actually it will be Emagine, sorry, who is up close there on the long doors. He's going to be able to pick up Get Right. So early edge found by Immunity, and NiP now need to figure out what the best approach is.
And they actually have 1 AWP in B, I think, so still very risky play, and 1 guy in C to spawn. They really are expecting NiP to keep pushing this A bomb site.
Interestingly, one thing that Fnatic used to abuse was how NiP back in the Katowice days used to just always push middle in situations like this. It's very likely for them to do that, but we can see that they have now worked out that was exploited and now are mixing things up. They go for that short play. It's going to be a trade immediately as they wake their way up. And problems though is that they are down a man. USTILO there with the vision over the smoke thanks to the crate. It's going to be able to pick up Friberg. The bomb is now down on the site. Allu's left to clutch it with this sort of close range. USTILO is going to eliminate him, and Forest so far away from the bomb. Gets tagged. Forest wants this kill here. He can at least go out with a bang and take a lot of, or hopefully make it more of an investment for Immunity. And considering their money situation, That then puts NiP in this spot where if they win this next round, then Immunity will be in a lot of trouble. But you can see that's James there. For you that don't know the players, this is Immunity James on the camera.
Yeah, and I like the decision there for James to just rotate back into B. He knew that he shouldn't give up that AWP. They really, really need that AWP. And they have double AWP now.
It's going to be interesting to see if they can make this work. So it's going to be James and Rickeh AWPing it, and not SnypeR as I would have anticipated. Rickeh's there actually alone. Oh no, SnypeR's there with him. Here onto the B plat. There's the first man spotted. Forest with that AK, very brave stuff. Probably didn't expect the AWP. They were probably just thinking, okay, they're just running single AWP setup. And instead, Rickeh's going to put the surprise and get the early kill. Trade coming in, though, as Friberg entries into middle. Things getting a little bit scary right now here for Immunity, as Friberg puts so much pressure in middle. The smoking off CT spawn. Now, Immunity trying to put in a response, but NiP looking for this split. 3 men from Dark, though. And 2 still in the site for Immunity. If they can keep this delay going, this could actually work out for them. But in, Friberg goes perfect timing, and the frag's going the way of NiP. They have the bomb site. And now it's up to USTILO and James on the retake. Nice incendiary there, but Friberg is going to eliminate USTILO. And James alone with the AWP. And this was... Oh no, this was... That previous round was a nice round for NiP to lose, to then win this one. Oh my goodness.
And look at the money. So with money on Immunity and... yeah. It's looking really rough for Immunity right now. And they got a good opening. And this is what I talked about earlier. You can get a good opening versus NiP. And when those trades at B happens, like NiP always get the upper hand, like always. They traded, like they went to B. Immunity had 2 players on the site. They only managed to get 1 player, so their own was basically over there.
Well, they were playing Karlo, but Friberg's going to check it, and they could probably predict this as well at this point. There, and I mean, NiP have been showing, okay, we're playing double AWP. We basically end the round always by just going long for the A push, because it's pretty much the safest thing you can do as a team, I guess, when you've got 2 AWPs. So Immunity even had some players in place for that, but they do get taken down. They are going to force it up here. FAMAS, 3 FAMASes, and a distinctive lack of grenades. Okay, so...
Yeah, no AWP on Immunity now either.
Oh, they're going to push Dark. The bomb is there as well. If they can actually push Dark, get the bomber down straight away, then they might have a really cool situation. And there you go. Jay's going to take down the bomber, and he's going to fall back with the M4. They can't take control of the bomb. James, though, with a nice angle. Friberg, not anticipating that push in upper Dark, kind of can't synchronize with his team, gets taken out in middle. And we've got a 3-on-3. Allu gets tagged down to 9. And Immunity looking fairly decent shape in this round, considering... USTILO wants to go for this open challenge against Xizt, but Xizt will barely win it. 5 health left on him, making this very doable here for James and emagine as they come in for this retake. James going to spot the first man, can't take him down quickly enough. His positioning is pretty hard to deal with. Here comes emagine though on the flank. And he's got the shot though, and that leaves it all on to James. Once again, great entry man for his team, but Xizt is going to take him down 10-3, and NiP are really running away with this one.
Yeah, and NiP winning all the like 4v4, 3v3s. There's like nothing Immunity can do there. They get decent openings in the rounds, but NiP is just so confident and so comfortable with playing those situations.
Okay, so a short boost here from Immunity to maybe get a really fast timing on Catwalk, try to get a frag very soon, but Friberg, very fast timing of his own, rushing straight down Suicide, is going to take down James. USTILO now trying to keep the damage going, but he can't quite get an angle on Friberg. Friberg just taking him down 1 at a time. USTILO will finally get the frag, but it's small consolation at this point. 3-on-2 for NiP. Friberg's going to make that a 3-on-1 now. There's Rickeh spotted, they know where he is. It's going to be finished off by Xizt. 11-3. The first half almost over now, and NiP with quite a result.
Yeah, I would say Immunity would have needed at least 9 or 10 rounds this half, and them being down 3-11.
It's pretty far away.
Yeah. It's not looking that good.
Oh, okay, I think they know what's going on here. He showed the grenade there, actually didn't throw it. Rickeh, though, on catwalk with that AWP, and James on middle. That might just be enough to catch Friberg off guard. There it is. Rickeh takes the kill onto Friberg, and they get another early round advantage. This has happened, actually, in a lot of their rounds, but they can't quite seem to keep that advantage going. And NiP, as you said, they are so good in those mid-late round situations that it doesn't even seem to matter. They've lost 2 now, though.
Yeah, this should be a round for Immunity. I mean, I almost feel like they have to make a mistake. There's 1 minute on the clock. Yeah, James with makes it a third entry frag there for Immunity as well.
Okay, so they might be able to just pull this this 4th round together. USTILO pushing a longhouse now. Spots Get Right, gets the immediate dink, sprays him down, and Forest is now the only one left. So spotted as well. Great shot there from him. How much more damage can he do with 4 health? They are swarming him. Just look at the mini-map here. Going to get taken out. 11-4, first half score. NiP, they just need to really win the pistol. And Immunity are pretty much... The map's pretty much over for them.
Yeah, I mean, they don't even need to win the pistol.
No, that's true.
To be honest. But like, if they win it, it's just a nail in the coffin. There's nothing Immunity can do to come back from that. But who knows? Maybe... like, the only scenario I can see them coming back from this is like they win the pistol rounds, they win the 3 first, then they like lose a 1v1, and then they win once again, forcing NiP to like having 5 or 6 echoes in the like first 10 rounds. That's like the only way.
Perfect situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Get Right has actually pushed lower dark, so they got some info as to what Immunity are really doing early on. But NiP have left two guys towards long at the start of the round. And Get Right's coming in with the flank, does get immediately taken down by Rickeh. So again, Immunity, they look not too shabby on some of these pistol rounds. They got a nice advantage, but we still have Xizt alive in the B-bomb site, so you never know. Does spot a couple players there trying to get the fast headshot, but he cannot get it. And pretty
It's
nice
so
move.
awkward with a USB silencer when they're jumping around there with the clocks.
And when they're not facing you, the head hitbox is so awkward.
And you need like 15 bullets to kill them if you try to shoot them when they have Karlo, so you just have to go for that headshot. And NiP really should do 2 full ecos now. And they're buying P250s and a deagle on Friberg. This is
Friberg
interesting.
loves the deag. We're seeing more and more deags, especially in the Eastern European scene. We're seeing lots of deags lately, at least from the matches I've been casting.
Simple.
When it's in the hands of Simple, oh my god, it's ridiculous. That guy has some... he's definitely... I think he's the best deagler in the world. Like, hands down. Hands down, best deagler in the world. His deagle's ridiculous. But that guy is Simple. I mean, maybe it's not the discussion to have now, but that guy is just... his talent is ridiculous on that guy. Okay, so just standard anti-eco stuff here from Immunity. They're moving together up long here. We saw NiP take the same approach on their T-side anti-ecos, and you can see why. And interestingly, NiP hadn't... They gambled in the stack towards B in this one. And, well, they can keep the pistols alive into the following round. That's definitely an option. Get some damage done that way. But Immunity hunting them down.
Yeah, I think they think that NiP has bought like Kevlars and Scouts and stuff, because otherwise it doesn't make any sense to hunt them down on this round. With the allu just looking for a weapon here. Yeah, let's see if Immunity will make it happen. As we predicted, if they win the 3 rounds now, then lose a 1v1 and win the round after.
Yeah.
That would be like the perfect scenario for them.
And I think Thorin predicted 6 rounds for Immunity, so, well. Well, I don't know if that's I don't think that's gonna happen. Don't think that's gonna happen. Not in this match, at least. Okay, so Immunity still sticking with some of the SMGs to keep themselves cost efficient, and imagine actually maybe even looking just to get himself straight in there with the P90. But 3 players here for NiP could make things pretty difficult for Immunity as they are bunched up here in the choke point. There's the first one immediately down by the P250. Doesn't know which way to look. It's still caught between 2 men, and Immunity lose both players.
Why would they go into B with only 2 players, just trying to trade, like gain information? If you're just gonna try to gain information, you should set 1 guy with a P250 or something, not 2 guys with AK or maybe not AKs but SMGs.
Right. It's the logic is the wires are like crossed there. bit of cognitive dissonance. And we're going to see the retake coming in from NiP. And they have some SMGs here, but looks like they might be content for the exits as well. They don't have a kit, so they need to move a bit faster than this. But they did wait to just all line up, but the spray comes down, and wow, NiP actually getting both frags with the SMG. But they need the defuse to come in pretty much now because they have no kit on them. And look at them darting out of every single angle. And the defuse is coming in, but allu, he needs to drop that AK to someone. Or does he? Can he make this?
He's gonna make it. He's gonna make it.
Oh, it's so close. Oh, no!
He wasn't gonna make it. That was
so close. But they lost every weapon. And that's going to make their economy fragile now. They got to go for the full rebuy, all players, and you can see how much damage that's done. None of them really have much money left.
Yeah, let's see what happens. So 7 rounds. So right now James is the correct one. And actually 2 SMGs here on Friberg Forest. And I actually like these decisions because they saved the weapons from the previous round, and they can just... Like, they just don't want to be forced to eco. They don't want to fall into that trap, which we talked about earlier, where you can get down to like $1,400 again. They just want to be able to buy as many rounds as possible.
Okay, so Immunity, they are doing the standard kind of timings here, taking over short rounds, 115, 120. And it looks though like they've got a lot of bodies there, so they might even just try to push up, but they don't have long control, and they don't have anyone with presence on long. So it might just be to pressure, gain some information, waste some nades from their opponents, and they can go for that quick cat drop. But there's 2 players in B from Bananas. Sorry, it's 2 players in B from NiP, so they are going to be good against any cat drops, but it's going to be the A play. They got nobody on long. So they just got a lurker in middle, at top mid. 4 players pushing up cat here, looking for the short plant. They're going to get it, but they've lost quite a couple players so far. 4 on 3 here. NiP still with those 2 SMGs. That's going to make life a little bit interesting.
And they actually have 1 guy out still up in mid for Immunity. And he's going long. It's not even planted for long.
Rickeh taking down Get Right. They don't have the grenades anymore to really smoke off or flash off the players. Playing catwalk, SnypeR coming in. Xizt does take down Rickeh. He's in a one-on-one against SnypeR. SnypeR's pushing forwards, and it is going to be Xizt falling back with the AWP. Is SnypeR going to make it out of there alive? Not okay, he will. 41 HP. But again, Immunity, they won the round, but they're losing so many players that they're actually losing money here.
Yeah, exactly. Like, NiP still has a huge opening back into this half. As soon as they win 1 round, they might even force Immunity on eco here, and Xizt even saving that op. And we see is it a full YOLO B, maybe?
No, this is interesting. Oh, he messed up the smoke. That's a really important smoke as well. But is it going to matter here? Going to spray down Xizt straight away. 1 more player on the plateau. It's Forest. Only gets a single kill. That's really good news here for Immunity. As, well, allu comes into play, picks up 1.
I actually think NiP should go for the exits here.
Yeah, I mean, they've been putting so much pressure on Immunity's economy already. There is a player lurking towards the T-spawn side of upper dark for Immunity that could cause problems, but are NiP just going to go for this? They're actually moving up here as if they want to try to make their way, and they've got quite a lot of grenades, and Immunity don't have any grenades left. Oh, that's a great smoke there into dark. This could happen here. NiP dropping down out of the window, trying to spot the players. Get Right picks up the first one. USTILO and James coming in with 2 apiece. Allu needs to clutch it, but there's no time. They get the kills, but there's no time. And Immunity win another round, but they have... Okay, so the way it's gone is they lost 5 players, lost 4 players, lost 4 players. So again, their money, they're using all the money every single time.
Yeah, NiP still has a big opening back into this game as soon as they win a round, though. They're actually gonna go for that eco. And just imagine if NiP would just gone for the exits. They might have killed every single player and saved 3 weapons. And like being able to buy this round, so pretty poor decision by NiP, but it's a hard one. When you're 3v3, you still think you can make that big retake.
Nice grenade to block off allu there. And again, a nice smoke from allu to give himself cover for an extra long peek into lower dark. Immunity handled that well though. They didn't lose anybody. They got rid of him for a cost of $300, just 1 smoke. And that's the way to handle that. Very calm, And allu didn't get much damage there. He's repositioned to short, doesn't pick up damage here. Immunity able to, so far, circumvent allu's kind of aggressive peaks early on into the round, and they are taking map control as they need. They have short. James has even peeked quite deep into some of these angles towards the A bomb site, and smoking over towards that bomb site as well. Looking quite interesting, that pressure towards A. Looks like they want to go for the cat drop. That B split is going to happen here from Immunity, although they do actually... They're faking it, actually. They're going back up now. And it's going to be Xizt pushing all the way around. He's going to figure it out. Forest takes down USTILO. Trades coming in, but the A bomb site is clear. They've made this work, but they're a man down.
Yeah, and NiP should just be looking for getting at least 2 more kills. I mean, they're going to try to go for it, but it doesn't really matter as long as they get a lot of kills.
Immunity, they're going to clean up 10 to 11, and they're actually making this work so far.
But still 3 kills there for NiP, and if you just look at Immunity's economy, they're still in that we have to eco if we lose situation.
Yeah. But that's the thing, it's the NiP need to close one of these rounds. They've been in that situation for ages now.
Yeah, that's actually true. I mean, Immunity can play this game all day. They will win.
Oh, but allu going to find an opening advantage for NiP, and he was looking so hard for it last round. Finally going to get it this time. And the smokes for CT spawn. Potentially a faster play coming in from Immunity now. But 2 players on the bomb site. NiP, they're positioning well. Forest finding the kill there from window. It's not looking good for Immunity. Smoke's going to cover off Plateau, but Xizt over the top gets taken out. So Forest is left alone, but Get Right comes in. Great stuff there from him through the door. And 12 to 10, NiP win that round, and there it is.
There's the eco.
How many rounds did they win in a row where they were basically in the situation where they lose 1 their eco?
6 rounds.
6 in a row?
Or yeah, the pistol and
like
3 weapon rounds.
It's ridiculous.
My prediction 6 and 10 might not look that stupid.
Alright, so lots of players here towards Upper Dark. It would look like a standard kind of just wait for the pre-nades and then just rush into B with these Tech 9s. They do have a smoke and 2 flashes, so that smoke could cover them. The approach from Plateau, potentially, to eliminate Xizt's angle. But still, I mean, this is a pretty narrow corridor to spam through, so it's always going to be dangerous, even if it's smoked off. SnypeR, he could really use the smoke here as well. This is a nasty situation, pistol versus rifle. And now they know. Xizt with the spray, and that's exactly what we're talking about. 4 frags for NiP, only 1 for Immunity. And the last finished off by Forest. 13 to 10, NiP looking good, but Immunity, they are going to be able to... they can buy, but it's...
It's going to be an awkward buy, but I think they have to go for it here. I mean, NiP, with 4 people surviving, sure, they have a small bank, but Immunity, like, they know they only have to win probably 2 rounds to force NiP to an eco, and that's their best bet to get back into this game.
Oh my goodness, Get Right.
What happened?
He burned down SnypeR. I mean, SnypeR got tagged as he was on the angle, and well, the flames, the pre incendiary is there. It's not super common to see the pre incendiary there, so that's like really nice to see that, because that's like a quite a big investment from the CTs, but it's a super safe. I'm gonna get into here into my position super safe basically. I mean, we see CTs often smoking off long, but there's a lot of risk in that as well. You got to have a more. When you see that, you know that there's 2 or 3 players towards long. So he's doing that because he was alone. You're going to see the smoke there, not really towards CT itself, but USTILO's just pushing in aggressively. What an angle he's going to find onto allu. That's actually a massive kill from USTILO. This kind of movement here from Immunity is kind of nuts. What is going on right now in NiP? You're wondering, as Get Right's going to find USTILO. He's going to turn around and completely destroy Get Right. Things not looking too shabby now for Immunity. 4 against 3 in this round. Friberg caught between 2 players. This USTILO, guys, is behind all of the entire NiP team, and he's going to just completely crush them.
And if Immunity is going to win this map, this is thanks to this round and USTILO. I mean, they were down a man, and he takes out that car position, allu, with an AWP at car, which is probably the hardest position on Dust 2 to pick someone off, and then manages to get 2 more frags as well, so basically winning the round all by himself.
All right, so let's see if they can keep it going now. They've got that round in the bag, and NiP's economy is going to be a little bit strained from that one. So if they can just keep it going, if they can just keep the pressure up, if they can force that eco, they can definitely take a map off of NiP. That'd be massive for Immunity, but also huge for the scene of Oceania and the Oz CS as well. Okay, so Immunity, now they've got that push down towards middle. They don't have cat control just yet. They're a bit slower this time than before, but well, we can see the smoke, the defensive smokes there for NiP, making life a little bit more difficult. And they're trying to entry their way with James. James is generally their main entry man, but we've seen him pick up the AWP quite a lot, even on the CT side, so showing a lot of versatility in his ability to find the entry frags for Immunity.
And I like this play for an NiP. They're playing it super safe, and they're playing the way I talked about earlier, where you're basically forcing the terrorists to do a set execution. And we're going to see a short execution here now.
This is a team, is Immunity, that have a lot of executions in the bag to play from. And here we go, the executes coming into play. Allu with one defensive frag. Get right, gets one himself before being traded on. And oh dear, Allu able to pull out the quick hip shot there onto USTILO. And 3-on-2 is now the
he has to push up middle. I think it's playing way too passive here.
SnypeR coming in from the back, takes down Forest. Ali's still in a good position there, and Xizt cleans up the bomb site. He can just basically hit the defuse. They know where SnypeR is. Ali's going to be peeking. He just has to delay him for the sure thing. And there it is. The jump shot's required. Oh no, can he get it? Oh no! Oh my goodness. And SnypeR, he should have known it was a short plant. Yeah. And had he known that, he would have gotten the frag, guaranteed. And that would have been the round for Immunity. But that small mistake in communication, in the chaos.
In the most important round in the entire map as well. And this just small mistakes by Immunity. They also threw the smokes, and you saw one guy just running out the smoke before it popped, and all got the first pick as well. Just these small things that would make them able to win that round, and probably the map there as well.
At least he's gonna help his team get back into the next round, but that might, I mean, as you said, that might be maybe even one of the most important rounds of the entire tournament potentially for them, because they're up against NiP here. Taking a map against NiP would be huge for them, and that could have been one of the big moments, but they can still put NiP into a very rough situation. NiP have spent all their money in this round, and 2 men down. NiP are suffering massively in this one. Now, Immunity, can they keep the advantage going? Get right. He knows he's got to take a risk. He knows he needs to even the situation. Going to find the back of Rickeh. The spray is not enough. Rickeh goes down to 24. They know what Get Right is. Get Right's got Allu joining him here. They're covering each other. All 3 together. NiP are moving in to try to catch Immunity off guard. Get some good trades going. But in goes SnypeR. Spray down from the back. And it's not looking good here for the Swedes all of a sudden. As the P250 comes out, and that's going to be the end of NiP in that round. And it actually might work out even better now because they got no money. Yeah. Immunity can just win, can actually win from this position.
And I can't believe NiP went for that after plant. Why would they do that? They were 3 people in middle. They took that guy in mid, and they could just easily just fall back, go for the exit frags from B, decided to just run out straight mid to a 3v4 after plant. And that decision might actually cost them the game. Or the map, at least.
Definitely. We know the third map is not going to favor them all that much, but at the moment it's not looking too shabby here for Immunity to just run over them. Although there is a trade, and these flashes are going to make problems here for USTILO. He's going to go down, and that's 2 men down, 1 man up. Here is NiP as Immunity are looking into to lock themselves into this A play, but the bomb is really far away at the moment. It's actually in T spawn. As we have Immunity take the bomb site, and in is Friberg. Xizt has a rifle as well. Okay, looking for the jump shots. Gonna find himself Rickeh, sprays him down, 2-on-2. Oh, he's gonna spot 1, and also his teammate as well, almost taking Xizt's life away from him. There's emagine over the top though, and this should be pretty simple now. They got the bomb across, 2-on-1. Xizt has no armor. There shouldn't be any way that Xizt can pull this one off as he creeps up. He's been doing some crazy stuff lately, but this is a tall order indeed. Now he's got some time to work with. No kit though, and that's a key factor. Takes the first frag. Emagine goes down, but SnypeR gets the trade. Well done by Immunity. They lose everyone but 1 man, but that's not the problem here. It's NiP.
Again.
Oh my god, we're going to see potentially 14-14 here. Immunity and NiP, they are playing down to the wire at the moment. And
yeah, they're going to go for the eco. And this is the right decision by NiP. And They have to make these awkward decisions now because of their poor economic decisions earlier in the game. Them being way too confident in their abilities to retake the B-bomb site.
Gonna have to see if NiP can actually pull a bit of an upset here, because it always can potentially happen with the pistols. They almost made it happen in the previous round. Immunity losing everyone but one man in that one. So Immunity taking it really, really slow now. And this is a test of their composure as well, because they know they're in a position where they can take the map. They know that that's the reality. They just have to hold their nerve here. That's something that NiP have done thousands of times over. NiP potentially the most, in fact, the most experienced group of players in the tournament, arguably.
And they do have a stack here towards A, and they have the pop flash, as our observer pointed out. So SnypeR does take out Friberg. Goes down. They actually have the bomb all alone towards long now. Would like to see the bomb rotate back towards A.
So he's trying to make his way in. That smoke is going to cut off the vision for the NiP players on the bomb site. But means you know that B is completely clear. They're going to rotate back, play the safe thing. And now this is just going to be chaos. NiP can just go for it and see what they can get done, but it's just completely chaotic here from NiP. You're going to have some pop flashes just in case to make sure that the site is indeed extra safe if there was to be a player lurking there, but there's nobody. In comes GetRight from the top though with the AK. Forest has himself an AK as well, and they're always going to be dangerous with those rifles in hand. So
they should just feel if they can get an early pick. If they can't, they should just fall back. It's actually...
GetRight's going to find the first man. There's the second man from GetRight over at the back of Plateau, spraying down for the third one. Rickeh's been spotted now. He's got the AWP in hand. Misses the shot. Oh, they can't kill him. He's still alive. Rickeh is holding it down. Did he delay enough, though? There's no kit. Forest has to try to make it out of there with the AWP. And again, how many times has this happened now? This is ridiculous. Immunity now go 14 against NiP's 14. They might just be able to take this map. Dust2 against the Swedes.
That was the most awkward situation ever when it was just standing there in the middle of the site.
It is absurd. It's completely unexpected. I mean, in our predictions, none of us ever thought it would come anything close to this. Even your very generous prediction, we all thought a 16-10 is not going to happen. Immunity now, they've got that the economic edge, but NiP, of course, they've got the full buy-in. There's no messing around now. They've got the AWP on allu. They're playing a very safe setup. The timing is has now rotated GetRight into more of a middle kind of peak from CT, and
worth noting is the team that loses this round has no money. So this might be the round. Like the team that wins this round is probably gonna win the game.
Or the map at the very least.
Oh yeah.
All right, so Friberg, he's going to be up against it right now. Allu, the thing for Allu right now is that no one's going to be coming short. If Friberg goes down here, they can cover for each other really effectively. And that's going to be the big problem for Immunity. Not having any presence on short, this is kind of a crazy play just to take long away. And they haven't got a lot of time left in the round. Friberg peeks up. They're getting sprayed down. 2 players taken by Friberg. Allu now going into the site. They're very paranoid about short, but there's nobody there. Allu in a great position now to deal with the players coming up long. But again, they don't know that there's no one up on short, and you can see how paranoid they are. They're thinking there has to be someone up short, but there isn't. They spot 2 players towards long. Allu, great flick shots there. The double for him. Just 1 man less, SnypeR. And again, this round could mean it all here for Immunity. Allu with the peak, gets the kill. SnypeR hits the ground. 15-14, and no money left for Immunity. And NiP may have just saved themselves a lot of trouble.
Yeah, Friberg and Allu just pulling out great individual plays there to save NiP. And yeah, if you look at Immunity's weaponry this round, it's Galil's, Tech 9s, 1 Deagle and James. This is going to be really, really tough. And this looks like they're going to go for the YOLO B.
YOLO B. Rush B, no stop. Imagine first man gets sprayed down by Xizt. They know what's going on. Forest and Xizt are locking down the choke point. And it is very over right now. Just SnypeR left with the Tech 9 and some armor. And NiP, it was a close call. It was a very close call, but there is very little chance with the bomb in B surrounded by Swedes that he's going to be able to pick it up and make this happen. There you go. Friberg finishes them off 16-14, and it's going to be the first best of 3-1 here for the FACEIT Stage 1 LAN Finals, won by NiP against Immunity. So well done to NiP, but that was definitely a bit of a close call.
Yeah, it was really, really close, and I don't think NiP should have made it that close. It was just, I mean, just poor decision making, like economy-wise, when to go for that retake. Like there was no point in going for that retake when they had 3 people versus 4. Like just imagine if they would have saved the weapons. They could have just had a like M4 buy the next round, and they could just stack a site and just keep saving those guns all the time. Just huge blunder by NiP.
Yeah, there's a lot of do we say early morning mistakes? How would you classify that? Is it? Do you think it's just making the wrong calls basically in some of these key moments? Do you think NiP were warm throughout the tournament, or?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when they look at the replay, they're gonna be like, "Oh, that was a huge mistake by us." So it's probably because they're playing early in the morning. This is like the first game of the tournament, and also they're playing immunity, and they might be too confident in those retakes.
Yeah. All right. Well, we do have Thorin and James back, so let's find out what they have to say.
Hello, thank you, Dan. So Thorin, not quite the 6 rounds you're expecting.
No, very close game actually. But I have to say, on the one hand, okay, let's give credit to Immunity. Obviously, they really pushed NiP, and then once it got to the tight end of the game, they kept the pressure on NiP all the way, and they were like that crazy round that was won in the B site there, where the guy was 1v3. Yeah. But a lot of this game was also NiP mistakes. Like when I see how easy the first half was for NiP, I feel like that's actually part of why they started making these uncharacteristic errors, like weird buys and going like for where you're in like a 3v4 after plant situation where you're just never going to get into that bomb. I feel like some of that comes from the fact that because the game had been so easy, map 1 had been easy, the first half had been so easy, when you play like that in a free manner where you're just winning so easily and you're just messing around, it's not that you don't respect the opponent, but once you start to realize, like, hey, we might be in trouble here, like, this is getting bad, you know, you can't just flip the switch and instantly be back in, like, serious mode and doing everything properly. You kind of have to get back into the groove of it. And so they got back just at the end there, but they almost blew it.
Yeah, do you think it was a bit cocky by NiP?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the situations, they would not play those out like that against the tier 1 teams they're used to battling all the time. I have to say, for the Immunity guys, usually in an upset, when it's an underdog, usually maybe it's like one guy goes crazy. One guy has like 30 frags. I mean, famously, I think of when CLG, that team beat LDLC on Dust 2, it was the Peter guy had like 20 orb frags or something, you know. This was actually a pretty spread out effort, actually. He was pretty good across the board. I mean, Rickeh had some pretty good rounds. I thought actually that overall, their level was good. It was really more that the NiP guys just seemed to almost be tilted in that second half there. They didn't seem know how to get control of the game again. And they were up a map, so it would have... More likely it was only going to go to overtime. It was unlikely they were actually going to lose outright there, but it's definitely one of the best maps we've seen from an Australian team versus a top European team.
And actually, Immortal, even though obviously it's a very close score, there was a couple of rounds there where they could have won it out. They had the bomb down. Was it 3v1, 3v2? And you said that the communication was a little bit of an issue at that point. Do you feel like they're going to have to improve that if they want to compete with the big boys?
Absolutely. I think that might be one of those chaos situations, because the entire point of that round, because they did a 4-man short push and they didn't have anyone on long, was to go for a short plant. There can't be anything else behind that. Yet, when James was jumping for the shot, when the defuse was coming in, he was looking for a different plant than the only plant it could have been. So that might have just been that he, may not even have been communication. May have just been that his mind state was so chaotic, because that was such an important round at the end of the map that could allow them to win the game. So that could have been it as well.
Mm. Yeah. How important is composure at a time like that?
It's really, really important that you could see them, like, they were just making these weird mistakes where they threw the 3 smokes and built a wall towards A, and then he just runs out before they even pop, and allu just picks him off. You can just wait it like half a second more, and there was like no way allu could have seen him. It just, I don't think he would have made that mistake playing comfortably at home.
Yeah. So now we have an interview with James Bardolph outside in the player area.
Okay, so we're here with Mr. Friberg, handsome man Friberg from NiP. So that was a 2-0 for you versus the Oceanic team. Have you played an Oceanic team before?
No, I think it was the first time. I know Vox Seminor has been to the majors, but we have never played them, I guess. I think. No, we haven't.
Okay, so the first game looked quite comfortable for you. How did it go in terms of, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think we had a good control on the first game. We started off as T and just got the game going, like getting the economy on our side and putting their economy low and just getting round from round. And I think we ended up in a 10-5 first half on Inferno, and then we just kind of won a pistol, and or we lost a pistol, but we won forced by, I think. But yeah, I think we closed off the game pretty easily on Inferno.
Okay, so game 2, they had a good comeback, and it ended up being a bit of a clutch round. Was that more difficult for you, or how did it go?
Yeah, we lost a lot of key rounds on Dust 2, which I think was the main reason why it was gotten so close. I mean, we were close on the weapon rounds, and we were even closer on the ecos. It felt like it was like not enough time to defuse for in 2 or 3 eco rounds from us. So just they won the key rounds, which put our economy back to nothing, kind of. So they won the key rounds, but I mean they did a good job, I think, as team.
Okay, great. So you're through to the next round of the winners bracket. So we will probably see you in the next match, and we'll leave you to watch the rest of them.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So you can hear there, Friberg, he felt, you can tell they know that they kind of tilted. Like there was a couple of times where the retakes of the sites they weren't happy with, when they couldn't defuse. Are they going to be worried going forward, or do you think they're experienced enough to just get on with it?
I think that's actually the sort of game where, especially because they didn't lose it, that's the crucial thing. They were in a lot of trouble, but then they got back together just at the end, where maybe that actually wakes them up a bit now. And if they were to play, so for example, if for some reason they at some point play Liquid, who's another underdog team, maybe they'll be a bit more focused, or they'll put more effort into don't play too loose early on, even if you're leading in score. Play a bit more seriously, because, yeah, I mean, obviously that could have gone very badly there. Luckily, that's also the benefit, by the way, of having a best-of-3 system as well. If that was a best-of-1, then maybe on that one map, maybe actually Immunity does manage to win 16-14.
Yep.
It would be like, wow, what an upset. But in a best-of-3, overall, NiP was the better team.
How about you guys? Do you feel like NiP are going to be worried at all going forward? We can expect them. They're going to be playing Fnatic or Team Liquid.
The way that I see it is that NiP, you have this classic situation with many champion level teams and teams that have been champion level, and I think NiP is one of these qualities as well, where you can often see them not firing up on the group stages, but they'll make it through. But it's towards the end of the tournament when they peak, and that's what it's about. It's about actually peaking at the right times, and so I don't have any worry with a team like NiP with their kind of track record and their experience that's not going to be the story of this tournament as well.
You feel the same way?
Yeah, I completely agree, and we have seen this in the past before. I mean, they have lost to lesser teams in the group stage just to come back and win the entire thing. So I don't think they're worried at all. So
in terms of pride for Immunity, going back to, well, not going back yet, but after their first performance here in... Don't laugh.
Good save. Good save.
Not going back yet, but in their first performance here in Europe and showing themselves to a lot of people, probably haven't seen them play on a top level like this before. Do you feel like they can be proud for their first game? That, especially in that second map,
it's a good
really
story
brought
to
it
have.
to
Like, hey, we were playing NiP, we were on Dust 2, it was 14-14. There was this round that could have gone another way, but I didn't get the guy. It's definitely a good war story to have in the collection there.
Yeah. Do you feel the same way? It's like, do Vox need to be worried?
Well, the thing is that, I mean, Immunity definitely look, out of all the teams in Oceania, to be consistently in the kind of the best shape at the moment, even though they haven't had as much press as Vox, and Vox have had the opportunities, of course, recently to go to more international events. It's all about them getting the opportunity to go overseas, because they've been here boot camping for a few days. They arrived on Tuesday, and they've been arriving like really early in the office every day. They got themselves in that Facebook group to try to get matches straight away, and they've been playing as many teams as they can. They've been like discovering all the different styles of Europe and stuff, and it's, for them it's like an amazingly good experience from just being able to play everyone that we in Europe are able to take for granted, and it's been growing. And I think these are the kind of players, like, I've had conversations with them, the kind of guys that they are. I think they're going to take a huge amount away from it, and it could very well serve them to be even more dominant when they go back to Australia. And of course, hopefully it will result in them getting more overseas opportunities, because I feel like they're going to be very charged by this. Despite losing, they never would have expected to beat NiP, of course. So I think it's going to really help their morale, actually, to have such a good game, and the next match could be even stronger, actually.
Yeah, I think it's very promising, and of course they are definitely not going home yet. They still have one more match. They'll be playing the loser of Fnatic versus Team Liquid, and NiP will be playing the winner of that game, and that's coming up very soon. So guys, let's have a little talk about that Fnatic versus Team Liquid. We talked a little bit earlier about Liquid and the US or the North American teams. Yeah. First of all, Thorin, your thoughts? we should see Fnatic take this as well. I think they're back at your number 1, right? Fnatic are now number 1 in your top 10. So,
I mean, I expect a confident win from Fnatic here, especially. I mean, the last time these two teams met was at MLGX Games Aspen, and it was on Inferno, which is obviously the home ground of the Fnatic guys. And I was actually shocked that the guys from Liquid are willing to play them on that, but they learned their lesson there because Fnatic crushed them. I think it was something like 16-4. It was a huge, huge victory for the Fnatic guys. The thing with Fnatic is, in the last few months, you could say, because they only came second at ESEA, they came second at the CCS, you could say, oh, they're in a bit of a slump. But if you're Fnatic, a slump means you come second and you only lose to tier 1 teams who are playing next level Counter-Strike. So with that said, even in their slump, I don't expect them to lose the best of 3 to Team Liquid.
Yeah, so Thorin doesn't expect them to lose. How are Team Liquid going to approach this match?
I think Liquid have the experience with the Dren that they're just going to basically play their game as well as they can. I don't think you can't really prepare for Fnatic that well. I don't think. I wouldn't say. I don't know. Would you agree that it's like they can't really prepare for them?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they just have to focus on their own play, which I mean, it's gonna be so hard, but it's probably gonna be really important with the map veto. I mean, they want to pick a good first map for themselves. I mean, it's the GSL veto system, so you remove one, then you pick one. So they have a really good shot of. Like, I don't think they're gonna win a map, but if they're gonna win a map, it's because they pick the right one.
What would be the right one for them? Do you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, Fnatic is good on the like lesser played maps like Overpass and Cobblestone, exactly. But I think Overpass might actually be the best choice because you can get that sick lockdown as CT, and as terrorists you can force the CTs into many ecos, and it's like in that kind of area they might have a chance of winning one map.
And in terms of standout players for Liquid, who are we going to need to see?
I mean,
come
there's
up to
one
the
that
plate
jumps off the page, which is Nitro.
Right.
He's the player for their team where he's potentially like one of the next stars of the scene, actually. He had a really great ESEA two ago, number 17, I think. He was a player who was previously on the iBuy Power lineup that came to DreamHack Winter that actually didn't do so well there. The big thing I think for them is, like, I'll say on one side, I think Nitro has to be really good because I think he has really good skills and potentially he can compete with players on Fnatic. The player I'm worried about for the Liquid guys is Adren, the in-game leader, because actually back when he used to be on the old iBuy Power, when they never used to have any good results in Europe, they always used to be really good in NA, come to Europe and always get trashed in the group stage. He was one of the guys who seemed to have some kind of tilt or choke issues. Right, and then when I know that they went to the offline qualifier for Katowice and they didn't even get out of that, so I wonder if he maybe has some sort of nerve issues there. So I'd put it as both of those aspects. Like, Nitro has to be really good and Adren has to essentially not be bad, has to not kind of choke away. So I think that'll be the key factor for Liquid.
And in terms of maps, who do you think will, like Fnatic, are they got any favoured maps that they're going to want to play against Liquid in particular? We spoke a little bit about the non-European teams having less practice potentially on some maps.
The thing is, historically, a lot of the NA teams have always banned out Overpass. I know Cloud9 nearly always did. They didn't want to play it. Likewise with Cobblestone to a degree, but I think towards the end they tried to use that as kind of like a joker map just to get against teams. So if I had to guess, if I'm Fnatic, if I think what their philosophy would be here, I think they should go with what is the old NiP strategy, which is when NiP we only used to have 5 maps, and NiP was good on all 5. So then they could just abuse the veto system and always get your worst maps and always go towards those. They don't have to go to their best maps, they're good on them all. Fnatic to a degree can almost do that. The only map Fnatic has to get rid of with their first ban is Nuke, because they don't play it. But every other map's open for Fnatic. It's up to them. If they've done some scouting on Liquid and they say, right, we want to go to this map, definitely do it. They don't have to go to the normal strengths. Now then, historically, I know that Liquid actually is usually willing to play Mirage, and that's a very strong map for Fnatic, but teams have been picking it against Fnatic recently, so maybe we could see that. I don't think Liquid will make the mistake of letting Inferno get through again, because I think that's kind of suicide.
Cool. Guys, thank you for joining me. Guys on Twitch as well, thank you for joining us. We're going to go to a very quick break, but we will come back and chat more in depth about the teams Fnatic and Team Liquid coming up very soon.